there's like tastemakers and there's like festivals. And like, if you're at this festival and the right people see you at the festival, then you might get these opportunities, et cetera. And then YouTube killed all that.
Andrew Shulz is right. YouTube completely ruined the stand-up comedy. Some of our old favorite comics will disappear. Some of the new ones will enter the content creation stage and will deliver a ton of new stand-up specials. By the end of this video, you will learn how we got here and whether your industry is next. Welcome to the TohirT channel. My name is Tahir and let's do this. In order for us to see the difference between the stand-up comedy of the past and stand-up comedy post-YouTube, we need a little bit of a refresher on what it took an aspiring, say, young comedian from New York to make it to the top stage 10 to 15 years ago.
Basically different people in the industry and they, I guess, had an idea of what the comedy should be right there. And there wasn't much pressure on them to deliver like numbers because nobody was really watching stand-up. Like stand-up wasn't paying the bills.
This is the same problem we face in other entertainment industry. A few at the top making all the decisions, a bunch of gatekeepers protecting the distribution channels, major networks being the only distribution channels for you to get your content out there into the world. Fast forward to the future, about 5-6 years in the past, back to the future, you will realize that all of those people at the top, they no longer have the control, the distribution channels no longer matter because the platform like YouTube allows you to deliver the content straight to your viewers. Some of us saw that change coming from far away, while for the others, let's say they had to use some other unconventional ways of arriving at that conclusion.
And I remember I was at my uncle's house and I asked his son, he was a kid, he was like 9 years old, and I asked him to put on the NFL playoffs. And I said, he goes, what channel is it on? I go, ABC. And he goes, what channel is that? And I was like, oh, it's over. I got to rethink everything. TV's done. These kids don't even watch TV. It means nothing to them. They're somewhere else. Oh, he's on YouTube. The game is completely changed. And I need to understand this new game. And nobody else is even trying to understand it.
I'm no better. For me, the moment of the epiphany was twofold. On one hand, I realized that I have a TV in the room, but cable is not even a factor. I primarily use my TV to either stream something on Netflix or play video games. And then the second major factor came from my oldest son, who demonstrated to me he doesn't care about the Brad Pitts, Tom Hanks, Tiger Woods, Tom Brady's of the world, but he really cares about MrBeast, Brianna, Preston's, Ryan's of the world. And in that entertainment sector, among all of those creators, the common denominator is YouTube. YouTube became this major distribution platform. It's the second most popular website in the world. It's the second most popular search engine in the world. It brings the eyeballs and it delivers the content. And YouTube achieved that success thanks to its secret weapon, the algorithm.
The beautiful thing about YouTube and just social media is like the algorithm is your marketing. You know what I mean? Like you don't need billboards. The algorithm is the billboard. Like everything you guys click on in a day is going to drive other stuff to you.
All hail the algorithm. No, seriously. Algorithm defines careers of many creators. All those videos that are out there, they're all tagged and traced by the algorithm. And the algorithm watches your viewing behavior depending on how long you watched the videos, what you disliked, liked, commented, subscribed on, set the alarm to. All of that viewing behavior is being aggregated, crunched through by the algorithm, and it spits out recommendation in the forms of the videos that you see on your homepage on YouTube. And it constantly evolves and constantly analyzes it, compares you and how you represent the group of other individuals so they can use what they learned from you and feed that content to other people who look similar like you on the platform. The content can go hot and cold, and it doesn't really matter whether you have a clicky thumbnail, your title is great, your video is viral. It's all about that consistent viewer experience that YouTube strives for, because the more time people spend watching YouTube, the more money they get from the ads that you're watching, which means more revenue for their parent company, Alphabet.
Speaking of Alphabet, shares hitting a record high after reporting a record profit for the second consecutive quarter.
For those of you who do not upload videos on regular to the YouTube, realize that every old video that you've ever posted on YouTube have a chance to go viral, because algorithm, YouTube platform, they never drop your videos. They always keep track of them, and one point in time, one of those videos might pop. In my case, I have videos from 2-3 years ago that still occasionally show up in my top 10 based on certain events. I make a video about Formula 1. Every time there's a major race in the United States or there's a major announcement about Formula 1, guess what? That video pops to the top of the charts. This is great. This means that although for someone like me, it might not make as big of a difference because I don't book millions of views, for someone like Andrew, who've been working hard, creating content, publishing content, and creating that library, all of that time that he invested in producing that content paid off big time.
We were basically planting all these seeds without even knowing it. And then when I went on Rogan, And the reaction was really interesting because I got his algorithmic boost. So I went on the biggest show.
Yep.
And then the people enjoyed the episode. So the YouTube algorithm is just like, oh, I guess the people that like this like his content. And I had a lot of content.
All those digital creators thriving, growing their channels, bringing up the content, building up their audiences, taking advantage of the opportunity and all the eyeballs that showed up on the YouTube platform. YouTube ruined the stand-up comedy because you no longer wait for the stand-up comedians to show up at those late night shows. You no longer go to your local bar or club and watch them perform for the first time. Now we're very hungry to learn about them ahead of time. We want to see their clips on IG, we want to see their clips on YouTube, we want to observe them in action before we ever commit our hard-earned money to go and see them in person. Prime example, Zainab Johnson, one of my favorite new comedians. I discovered her through Instagram, through one of the reels. I really liked her jokes. I was like, let me start following her. I started watching more long-form content with her. Eventually, I discovered that she's actually in this show on Amazon Prime called Upload. I started watching the entire show because of her, not because of the hype around the TV series itself. And slowly but surely, I worked up to the point where I'm like, I want to see her live. I need to DM her. I need to convince her to come to New York City. She comes to New York City. I'm excitedly buying tickets. And the show gets canceled because Dave Chappelle decides to show up at the Cellar. I mean, I'll still get my opportunity. I'll still see her in person. But this is the prime use case where all of a sudden all the social media, all the work that those young creators, young stand-up comedians do online precedes their popularity on the live stage, in those theaters, in the arenas. And even the bigger comedians, the Bill Burrs, the Kevin Harts of the world, they now have to have a massive online presence to support their distribution network, to support their presence online so that they can still continue to sell out the arenas. The game has changed and I'm selfishly all for it.
How can we evolve every aspect of the business? So if it's like put more power in the creator's hands, especially as like a stand-up comic, then that's awesome. Let's do that.
Did you realize how much the stand-up comedy changed because of the creator economy? What was your favorite aspect of that change? And how would your industry change with the introduction of the digital creators and the creator economy? Share your thoughts, ideas, and questions in the comment section below. Seriously, this is why I said at the very beginning, your industry might be next. You might see that change through the introduction of the new platforms and the new kind of content that the creators generate in your specific industry. It can be manufacturing. It can be any kind of industry where the creators will start founding their own companies to try and reinvent what's been creating today. I heard this quote. Very smart person. If I'll recall them, I'll put them somewhere on the screen. Right now, I don't remember them off the top of my head, but they said that in any industry, at any job, if you want the security, you want to be the trailblazer, you have to think about what would get you fired? What kind of new technology, new innovation will get you fired? And you should go and do that. So if you think that the creator economy can change your industry, you should start conceiving how using and leveraging all those tools that are currently available in the creator economy can help you change your industry. And if you're curious to learn more about the tools that are available out there, about other companies and examples of that change, or individuals who drive that scale in being the trailblazers in their own respective areas, there's plenty of that content on my channel because I'm here every Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share this video with some of your friends. Here are a few more videos for you to watch, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!